Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the live Team Alliance training session for Monday, November 5th. Time right now is approximately 8:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Those of you joining us for the first time in live training, you guys are in for some very exciting information, a very good environment as far as learning. You're going to learn a lot of information about not only the market, but also about yourself. And the reason that is so important, and why you'll hear me reiterate that, is because the way that you respond and react to the market is going to have everything to do with the level of success that you experience as you trade. You're going to learn how to become profitable, and you're going to do it using the framework that we use here on Team Alliance. Our framework primarily consists of recognizing and interpreting the behavior of the market, also being aware of the environment in the market, as well as utilizing a set group of parameters or rules that will permit or prevent us from entering into the market. The reason that that's important is because you need to know when to stay out of the market, primarily because the market is something that you cannot box in, you cannot curve fit, you can't tame it. It's like a wild horse. You're not taming a wild horse. It's a wild horse. So you better stay out of its way or learn how to ride it. But you're not going to calm it down until it's ready to calm down. When it's ready to calm down, then it calms down. That's the market in a nutshell. So those of you that are here who are new, by now you should have received a playlist from me. The playlist has all of the training videos in it. And inside of that playlist, videos number 92 and number 55 specifically are going to familiarize you with the parameters that we use. Once you watch those two videos, everything that we train on tonight is going to make much more sense to you. For right now, initially, the majority of the stuff that we may cover may not make any sense at all, and that's fine, because you're going to learn at your own pace, for one, and you're being exposed to the information that you need to know without the fluff. So everything that you hear tonight, of course, you'll have questions about. My recommendation would be to hold your questions until you have some type of understanding of what you're going to ask, because until something clicks and makes sense to you, your questions will just be very basic, and the basic questions will be answered as we go along. So just give it a little bit of time and be patient. That's my recommendation, especially if you're brand new. All right, just, don't worry about it. It's going to all come to you in time. So when we begin getting on the charts, and right now what you're looking at on the screen is the Nadex platform. The Nadex platform is the platform that we use to trade on. This platform is an exchange. An exchange simply means that you're trading against other people on the same platform. Every time that you take a trade, someone else is on the opposite side of the trade. As a matter of fact, someone with the opposite idea that you have is trading on the opposite side of your trade. So you're trading against other people on the platform, but we're dealing with binary options. So these are very simple instruments to trade because it's a simple yes or no decision. Buy or sell. Your anticipation is that the price is going to remain above or below the option or the line that you sell or buy. The strike price that you select represents the line in the sand wherever the market, which is the price that you see moving on the chart, the one right here in this gray box with the white numbers, 1.3056 is where it is right now. Wherever this price ends when the clock runs out is going to determine who wins the binary and ultimately who collects the profit on that trade. Okay, so every time that this clock resets, if you look at it, it's about to reset right there, 5 minutes. You see how now it's counting down. Begins at 5 minutes and it ends at 0. So just now, this binary represented the last minute of the last binary that just passed, that just expired. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to highlight that candle. Why am I highlighting this candle? What's the importance of this candle relative to these other candles on the chart? Bingo. Jorge said it represents the last minute of the binary. Exactly right. Why is the last minute important? Joshua says because it is the decision candle. In other words, it was during this binary, or I should say this minute of the 5-minute binary, that the winner was decided. If you bought this option, which was the 30.55, you see how the price is above that? It closed, or it remained above that line. If you bought, you won that trade. If you sold, you lost that trade. That's how simple it is. Now, what we do is we don't select the binaries by looking at the binaries. Not alone. Of course, it comes into play because we need to look at the pricing of the binary option in order to determine when we're going to enter and to get our timing precise. But in essence, it is the market itself that we're watching that is going to determine when and how we enter the market. In other words, well, what direction are we actually taking the trade in? And once we figure that out, do we take the trade or not, depending on what the market is actually doing? These are questions that you need to ask yourself and to know the answer to before you get into any trade. Now, when you come to the conclusion of what the actual direction is going to be and which strike price you're going to select, that is when the trade will ultimately reveal itself to you, but not until then. So the process that we utilize is one where we're actually studying the market itself, the price. We need to know not only where this is moving, more importantly, we need to know how it is moving. Because you're dealing with a binary. You're dealing with a clock. Okay? Remember, the clock expires at 0. The most pivotal point in the clock is going to be the last minute. Because the actual binary ends at 0. So wherever the market ends during that last minute of the binary is going to determine basically who's going to win the trade. That's what we need to be on top of at all times. That's where this highlighted candle comes from. We're going to highlight the end of every binary. So you can see the clock rolling back around again right now. We got a minute and change left. One of the pieces of our process is that when we get right around the minute and 30 mark, the first thing that we want to do when we come on this chart is actually start looking at how fast is the price moving. Well, Mark, what do you mean how fast? If you look at the last digit of this price, just now, it went from 6.1 to 6.3. How many micro pips is that? Or how many numbers is that? 6.1 to 6.3, how many is that? That's 2, right? So 2 represents the speed. We're literally measuring the speed. And this right here, this is a disqualification. We don't have pricing on the sell, and the buy would be disqualified, of course, because price is moving towards the line for buy. That quick, we disqualify the trade. And without you even understanding what I'm talking about, you see how simple the process is just from me talking through it if you're new. So let me continue on. As you're looking at the market and you're measuring the speed, when we measured speed just now, and we saw that the speed jumped by 2 when we were right around the minute and 20-something second mark, that is giving us an idea of how much speed will likely or potentially be present when we get under a minute. Let me repeat that. At a minute and 30, we begin to measure the speed. Okay? We want to know and have an idea of how fast the market's moving. That's probably the most important part of the parameter process. The speed. How much speed is in the market? If there is too much speed in the market at the time that we begin to measure, it does not dismiss the trade, but it does give us a heads up to be aware that there's speed present. So if you see speed continue under the minute mark, now you have even more validation from the market that you don't take that trade or you don't do anything with that trade because there is too much speed. So overall, just like Carl was saying, we want 1 micropip of speed. That's our preference. That's our preference. However, at the minute and 30 mark, it's not required that it's 1 micropip. But the reason that I'm saying that is because under a minute, it is required. From the minute 30 down to the 1 minute mark, it is you looking at the actual speed and getting an idea of what it might be under a minute. Because remember, you're going to observe the whole time anyway. You're going to watch. If the market moves too fast under a minute, you'll see it and you'll do nothing with the trade because it's going to disqualify the trade. So all of the things that we're talking about right now are part of the entire process, but we're talking about the specifics on the mechanics of how it works when you're actually applying the parameters. Okay? Now, those are the parameters, at least some of them that I'm covering right now. The most important one is speed. How fast is the market moving, right? And once you are seeing how much speed is present in the market, what you're doing is recognizing the environment that you're in. We want a slow environment. Ideally, the speed we want to see is 1 micropip. We begin the process of measuring speed at a minute and 30. Under a minute mark, when we apply the rest of the parameters, 1 micropip of speed is the requirement. It cannot move faster than that. And if it does, it disqualifies the trade automatically. Now, there are other parameters also that the market must validate in order for that trade to not be disqualified. So when you apply all of the parameters, if the market violates any one of them, it's a disqualification. You never, ever deviate from the parameters. If the trade is disqualified, it is what it is. You leave it alone. The reason I keep reiterating this is because the part of this that you need to work on the most is yourself. You have to learn to be patient and wait for the market to give you validation of the parameters and validation of the environment that we need to be in. What's the environment that we need to be in? Let's start from the beginning of the process. What type of environment do we need to be in? We need to be in a slow market. What represents a slow market? Specifically, bingo, 1 micropip of speed. So overall, you want to see consistent 1 micropip of speed. And remember that we're starting the process of measuring speed at what point? Bingo, minute and 30. At what point is 1 micropip of speed required? Under a minute. See how good y'all are? This is why y'all ain't going to lose no trades. Now, listen. So once we know that we have the slow environment and we know that the parameters are going to be applied during the slow condition, right? What is it that we want the market to actually do specifically when we're in the trade? And what is it called? William said we want it to hold. Woo! Move and hold. And what is that called? Jorge said no backticks. Absolutely. Yes. What is it called? Damon said move away from the strike price and hold. Yes. Bingo. Mark's rule. Move and hold. Every training you'll hear me say that the answer to every question is Mark's rule, move, hold. Because until the market performs that specifically, and what it means when you hear us say Mark's rule or you hear us say MRMH, however you hear it, it always means the same thing. It means that an actual trade set up, validated, meaning that the parameters were met, and it did so in a slow environment, which is a prerequisite for what we need, right? We got to have a slow condition, period. So we got a slow condition, we got the trade validated, and we have the behavior of the price during the trade. In other words, during that last minute of the binary, what the market does specifically is move and hold. In other words, it moves, and we know that the movement must be at a speed of 1 micropip prior to you entering the trade. Let me reiterate that so that we don't get confused. Before you enter the trade, the speed has to be 1 micropip. Be clear on that. There are times when the trade will set up, it'll validate, you'll enter the trade, and it might speed up and accelerate after you're in the trade already. But because we wait for the market to prove itself through Mark's rule, meaning that we don't do anything as far as actually taking a trade until we see a trade that takes place that is what we need to be all parts of a valid trade and its behavior taking place on the chart. We need to see that first. That is what Mark's rule is. Now let's bust it down a little bit. This is an example of the type of behavior that we want to see here, the move hold. We're going to actually see one, I'm pretty sure, at some point. But let me just describe it so that you understand what I mean. Moving, we're making reference to the price of the market. The market that we're watching is the GBP USD. You can look at any market that you so choose to. My recommendation is that you keep it limited to one market because you need to become familiar with the behavior and the nuances of the market that you're watching. So for that reason, you don't need to clutter yourself looking at multiple markets. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Whatever market you're comfortable with, whatever market you like, that's your market. Don't switch up. Don't hop around. Stick to one. Now, what goes on, if you actually look at the way that the price is moving right now, this is an example of the type of movement that you would want to see as far as the speed and the way that it's inching up one at a time. Now, you saw that pullback, that jerk, that's what we don't want to see. That jerkiness, that behavior is not what we want to see. The type of movement that you want to see is exactly what you would want price to do if you were in the trade. Specifically, you want it to move away from your strike, and as it's moving away from the strike, you want it to do so at a speed of 1 micropip at a time so that it looks like it's inching away from the line. Like right now, look at how it's moving. See how it's inching away from this line? Like it's literally inching away one at a time. Look at it. See how it just moved back? See how it went to 5.4 and then it went back down to 5.3? The fact that it went back down, that's what we call a backtick. The backtick disqualifies the trade. That's not what you want to see the price doing if you were in the trade. And this is why Mark's rule is so important, because Mark's rule means that instead of you taking this trade, like this trade just now was an example of a trade that was about to set up. It didn't give us what we needed. It went up to 5.4, and we actually needed to be 5 micropips at least away from the strike price. Never reached that. On top of that, it started moving back towards the strike. We don't need that either. That disqualifies the trade. That's not what you would want the price to do if you were in the trade. Look at what would have happened if you had taken that trade just now. Look at where the price ended. It was heading above the line, wasn't it? But the behavior's jerky. So what did it do? The price came back underneath the line and ended under there. You would have lost. Just like that. The market is slow. We're in a slow market. That's what we want. But the behavior is not present yet that we need. Well, how do you know that? It just did it. Well, how do you know that you can take the trade? You don't know. Well, when do we trade? Once we see it. What do you mean? Mark's rule. Does anyone not understand what I'm saying? In other words, instead of you trying to figure out if the market is going to do something, we don't do that. Let the market do it. Let the market prove that everything that we need to be present is already present. What that does for us is put us in the position to experience the highest probability of that repeating itself after it has already done it. If the market never showed it to you, you really don't have any concrete proof that the market will give that to you. It can look like it's going to give it to you and then just does something else that's crazy and it doesn't give it to you, and you took the trade just because it looked like it was going to give it to you. So this is where your patience and your discipline comes in. The patience to wait for the market to give it to you. The discipline to not do anything else unless the market gives it to you. In other words, if the market does not give it to you, you do what? What do you do if the market doesn't give it to you? Or he said, you go get a slice of pizza. That works. You do anything except take action and try to take a trade. Anthony said, watch cartoons. Gage is getting a sandwich. All right. William said, I was told to choose one market 15 years ago. Jelani speaking my language. I didn't listen, and now here I am. Now I'm going to get it right. You know, it's interesting, William, how far back we can go dealing with the market. It really is very interesting. Some people have a long history in the market, including myself. Like, just overall in the financial markets, I've been around for 26 years. And I've had a lot of success, but I've had more failure over time than success. Until recently. Like, before I started this wave that I'm in now, I had more failure than success. But I did good things during the times of success. So it kind of balanced things out for me. But what happens is, the more time that you put into actually understanding the market itself, that's where your success will come from. Because I had to stop what I was doing as far as, you know, messing around with indicators, relying on somebody else's, I don't even know what to call it, like people call it strategies. You can't make a strategy. You literally cannot make a strategy because you can't curve fit something that works into the market long term. It's impossible. You can't do it. So anytime somebody talks to you about, oh, you know, well, this is my strategy, nah. Nah, it's just it might be a pattern that they might see that's functioning for the time being, but it ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work indefinitely. It's not gonna work long term. It's gonna stop working, and when it stops working, all they'll do is reset and then try to find a new pattern. Then they're on to the next strategy. That's why people have so many strategies. It's like, well, then how many strategies do you need? And when do you know when to apply it? How do you know? And that's the problem with that. Same thing with signals. Where are the signals coming from? How are you getting these signals? You're telling me that, all right, we're going to buy here. Why? Why? Why are we buying right here? Like, if you're not really breaking down the process that you're using, why should I be just confident and relying on you to give me a signal to enter the trade? And people wonder why it never works. It's like, well, you know, these signals are pretty good. They're about 85% win. Okay. And then when you actually average it out, you'll notice that you're losing more than you're winning. It's because you're really not understanding the market yet. And what happens also is until you actually sit down and just look at the market and become one with the way that the market moves, you're not going to understand the market at all. And that's a very scary place to be. And you can spend a lot of time and a lot of years being in that position. And I know because I've been there. Like, I've literally been in that position, so I know it very well. That's why I know, you know, the nonsense that goes on when I see it. I'm like, nah, you can't curve fit nothing. I've done all types of stuff in the Forex market, just in markets overall in general. Like, people don't know that I built automated systems and all type of expert advisors, like MetaTrader 4, MT4, they have scripts that you can build. I used to write scripts. I used to create indicators. All type of stuff. This is like, you know, and I feel comfortable enough to share with you guys because you guys are here with me all the time. But this is like my experience spans way back. Way, way, way back. There's nothing that people do today that I haven't done or seen. So that's why I'm very familiar with what doesn't work. And once you realize, well, you know what? None of that works. The only thing that works is the market and understanding it. That's it. And it really doesn't matter what you're trading. It doesn't matter what instrument you're trading. It doesn't matter what, you know, time frame you're looking at. None of that makes a difference. How do you actually interpret what you're seeing the market do? Oh, you need an indicator to do it? All right, you already lost. The indicator lags behind the real-time price. That ain't going to work. How is something going to work that's slower than what's actually happening? By the time you look at it, the move is over. It's like, oh, man, I missed that. I know you missed it. Of course you missed it. You're using an indicator that's lagging. So, you know, this is just stuff that goes on. So the reason I like to talk about it is because I know that you guys have gone through this, or many of the new people that sign up are going through it still. And you really just, you know, now you're in position to unlearn a lot of stuff that just does not work. Unlearn the fluff, unlearn the stuff that you've been told all of this time. You know, if you do this, take a 10 moving average and put it on your chart. And when it crosses over, you know, the 2 moving average, then you buy. What? What are you talking about? Then they write a script and put an arrow on the chart. So every time you see the arrow, you get excited. You're like, oh, it's time to buy. Well, what's the behavior in the market? Huh? What do you mean the behavior? That this is why people will lose. The people that trade against us are going to lose, first of all, because we're better at looking at the market than anyone is. We're actually seeing the market. And another reason why people won't be consistent like us is because they'll trade when they should not be trading. And notice how you always hear me ask you guys, well, what do we do if the market doesn't give us the trades? Our answer is always the same. We do nothing. Like, that's the part right there that gets everybody. People don't understand that. People can't deal with that. It's like, what do you mean we don't take a trade? Well, I haven't taken a trade in a week. The market ain't act right for a week. Market didn't act right all week. Keep your money in your account. If you don't do that, you'll give your money to somebody else on the exchange. And that's what goes on. So there's a, this learning process is very powerful for all of us. And that's why the training is so repetitive. Everything we talk about is always the same. We never switch it up. Oh, well, Mark, we're not getting a lot of trades. Well, the market's not giving us the trades. Period. Oh, well, how do we get more trades? We don't get more trades. We wait. Well, how long are we supposed to wait? Until the market's ready to give it to us. And it's very powerful also because when people don't really take the time to develop the necessary patience that they need, then when the trades come, they're not around. They're not around when they come because you didn't have the patience to wait. You started going and doing other stuff. Hitting it right on the head, ain't I? I know I'm striking the nerve with this. As soon as you start looking at something else, that's when our trades come. You're like, damn, y'all had trades today? Yup. Well, what were you doing? Oh, I know. The only time that we'll do something else is when we're watching videos and training. That's it. I'm not doing nothing else. Well, Mark, you don't trade Forex? No. Well, what about another pair? No. Takes a lot of discipline to do that. Y'all saying some good stuff. Joshua said, waiting is the workout. Come on, man. Carl said, no money on the table, no trade. Man, listen. You know how much money that's worth? Jesus. Jay Carly says, stay loyal to your pair just like your team. Bingo. I was in meetings. Yeah, it's sort of like being a Knicks fan. You know they're gonna lose, but you're still a Knicks fan. I'm a Knicks fan. Like I'll go and watch the Knicks lose, and I'm good with that. That's it. I'm a Knicks fan. Now all of a sudden everybody like Golden State. Come on, man. Come on. So we had a couple of things go on today with some of our fine students. One of our students is going to share some stuff with us. I didn't have a trade today, actually. I did see there was a Mark's Rule, I think, this afternoon. It seemed like there was another one this evening, too, like around 6 something. But I kind of was hopping on and off the chart, so I didn't really get an opportunity to see if a trade came after. Jay Carly said there was Mark's Rule at 6:45. Did anyone get a trade after that? Quentin said no. Jay Carly, no. Gage, no. Joshua, no. Lisa said. Let me see. Crystal, no. Diane, do we have a lesson that shows Mark's Rule to watch it unfold? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Video number 218. Anthony said, I think it was 11:50 that hour. Okay, yeah, 11:50 this morning, right? Okay. And see, now look at that. So we had 2 Mark's Rules today and no trades that followed after. and we're fine with that. We are fine with that because you can't force the market to do anything that it's not doing. So you're better off keeping your money intact in your account, right, and letting it be. You're way better off doing that. Way, way, way better off doing that. And you spread out the success that you're going to have over time. Because the days that you don't see a trade or get a trade or whatever the case may be, it's going to be offset by the profitable days that you have. You know, when you finally do take a trade, you're going to win the trade. That's powerful. You spread that out over time, and it's game over. Like, that's financial freedom for us. Joshua said trainer number 216 had 4 valid Marx rules, were they? Or were they move and holds? What specifically did, okay, he said there were 4 setups in trainer number 216. He's been doing some excellent work. He actually has been going into trainings and looking at the market. And what he does is actually what you all should do. Whether you're looking at a video that I did or you're looking at a training, look at the market. See if you saw a setup. Joshua, Mr. Walker in the group chat. Yes, excellent work. Anthony said video 117. Oh, in Mark's brain. Yeah. that was a good one. That was a goodie. Yes. Watching the charts less and less. Absolutely. And Jay Carly said record also your trades or just in general and then study the market over the weekend. You can go back and see what you recorded throughout the week and just look at what the market actually did. Man, that's powerful. That's good. That's good to do that for yourself. That's hard. That's excellent right there. That is excellent. Screencast-O-Matic. Jay Carly put the link in there. Yes, you'll catch your own mistakes. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, and don't be afraid to record. Just record. Just record. Just record. You can actually always go back and delete whatever you don't want. When you get setups, you kind of put your setups together, you know? You can do that, but I'm going to still make the ginger tea. Get that in your system. Anthony said when you record, talk to yourself. Yeah, like how you hear Joshua doing the play-by-play. Definitely do that. To listen to what you were thinking at the time. This is good. This is good. This is excellent. This is excellent stuff right here. Let me box that in, and let's look at this. I want to see what this does. All right, there's a back tick right there, so that's disqualified for the buy. Okay. And what I'm doing right now, I'm just actually looking at this right here to see if this was going to set up, which it did not. It gave a back tick, and there also was not 5 micropips away from the strike price. So once the trade disqualifies, then you just observe to see what the behavior is going into the end of the binary. And then that just tells us what we need to know as far as progression. Progression really is giving you a heads up as to what is likely to come. Because we know that the bottom line is that if you just wait for Mark's rule every time, you always are going to be where you need to be. Like, you can't mess up. If you wait for Mark's rule to come, once it comes, the trades either come or they don't. That makes it super simple. The trades either come or they do not come. Ooh. 940 was a jerk? Was it? Let me see. Yeah. Jerk, stole. What Joel said. There you go. A stirk. Oh my goodness. You know what? We're gonna use that too. When you see this stupidity right here, this is a stirk. That is funny. Diane said it seems like the Marx rule was like a bird's eye view. Then you start to look closer. Yes. I mean, it's bird's eye view as far as taking a trade. In other words, once you get that, get ready to take a trade if it sets up after that. Without a doubt. So, Jay, what happened today? Come on, unmute so you can tell everybody what went on today. Tell everybody what happened today. Drop some jewels. Anthony said, "Oh snap." Okay. Where you at? You're you can't unmute. It's not letting me do it. It's like it's grayed out on my end. Hold on, let me try something. There you go. Now you should be able to do it. All right.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, I was going to try to play Around the Way Girl, but I didn't know how loud it was going to be. Or some emotional. Oh, my God, I love Carl Thomas. Lord Jesus. Okay, so listen. Story time with Jay Carly. I've been going round and round about how much I want to actually share, so let's call this story time part 1. Here's what happened. So let's start here. So in May, we all know that I lost my mind. And then June and July, it was just a whole bunch more of lost mindness. Then we brought it back. And then I lost my mind again. So basically, let me just say that I've blown my account about 7 times since February. But that's okay. Here's what happened. So last night, I was on training. We get off training. I told Mark, it was like 10:36. I'm like, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to log out. That's not what happened. That's not what happened.
What happened was
I may or may not have accidentally drank some delicious dark chocolate wine, and I said
and kept telling me about it too.
I said we don't want to drink and trade, and it's not my fault. I don't drink. I haven't drank in 3 years, but it was so delicious, and then I don't know what happened. Anyway, I was a little tipsy, so we're gonna blame it on the alcohol. Joshua said I could. So what happened was, wait, let me go back. So these past several months of all of my problems, losing my mind and doing a whole bunch of stuff I wasn't supposed to be doing, I learned a lot about myself. So every time Mark says anything about, you're going to learn a lot about yourself and you need to learn patience and discipline, I re-listened to old videos, video number 17. I was like, oh, Mark, I'm more patient than most people. I have so much patience. I can do this. Nah, man. No, that's not what happened. So I developed something called an accountability partner, right? Because the thing that I learned about myself is that I have no control over myself. I just do stupid shit, and I don't know why. And I just cry at the market. Why are you doing this to me? Seriously, I will sit here and I will cry and I'll be like, why? Why did you do that to me? I have no idea. And I would just lose my mind. So here's what happened. I started the accountability partners thing, and that's, a super secret thing. So every day I send a screenshot of my balance to my accountability partner, and they do the same with me. And that literally prevents me from doing stupid stuff because I have to be accountable to someone else. See, I'll sit here and argue with myself or justify every single thing that I do, and I'll make it okay. I'll be like, oh, well, I got 5 OTMs this week. I'll just risk $100, and I'll just know that it's okay if I lose it. No, man, it is not okay. It is not okay. It's not okay. Because I learned that when you start doing all that stuff, you would have had a better chance just to sit there and do 50-50 for 6 hours. Honestly. We'll talk about that in Story Time with Jay Carly Part 2, okay? So here's what I learned. I learned that if I'm accountable to someone else, and thank God for that person, thank you so much, I can keep myself on track. And I went 6-0. And then last night I'm like, oh, don't drink and trade, do-do-do. So I'm like, I'm going to log out, right? I didn't log out. And then I saw the beautiful, beautiful tiger, the Mark's Rule move hold. I was like, hell yes, I'm going to get a trade. So what did I do? I was like, parameters? What parameters? We don't need no secret parameters. And I just took the trade. I took the trade at 10:55. Go back and remember, I told Mark at 10:36 I was going to log out. So 10:55, I took the trade. I forgot about parameters. I was like, whatever, man. This wine is delicious. So I took the wine.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yes. I need it around the way, girl. That's not my real singing voice. We all know I can sing. I'm playing. I'm joking around, man. So, so I took a loss. Now here is the monumental, amazing thing that happened. Instead of throwing all my shit across the room, yelling at the computer, crying, any of the stuff that I would normally do, like, oh, hell no, Market, I'm going to jump on, I'm going to do an OTM, an ATM, you going to give me my money back. That is not what I did. I contacted my accountability partner. I was like, look what I did. They're like, log out. I'm like, I know, I already did. Logged out, went to bed, got up this morning, got back on the chart. I did no revenge trading, no OTM, no ATM, no extra deposit to cover it up, none of that. And to cover it up for myself and deleting the emails, because did you know if you delete the emails, it didn't happen? You delete your emails of trades that you lost, it never happened. And if you replenish the money you lost, it never happened. Again, story time part 2. But so I learned this, right? I learned that you can control yourself. Some of us just have a different personality type, story time part 2, that just it's too difficult to not have someone to be accountable to. Because I'll lie to myself all day long. I'll do it and it'll be okay, and I'll be okay with it. Mm-hmm. But I can't lie to someone else. I can't, there's no way to cover it up. I can't make a deposit and then try to figure out exactly, oh, I guess you could, huh? No. Make a deposit and then subtract the exact amount to get you right back where you were for your accountability partner the next day. So that's what I learned. It took me all these months to get that control. And I've never been so happy about a loss ever. And it's not so much that I'm happy that I lost the money. It's the fact that it was okay. The world did not end. I didn't die. Nothing got broken. I didn't know. Nothing. I was so in shock on myself. I'm like, oh my God, did you like grow up in the last 10 minutes? What really happened there? It was so amazing. And then I wasn't going to tell anybody about my loss because, you know, if you know me, and you should, everyone should know me, actually. I love y'all so much. You know that I know what I'm doing, and I can help you, and I can tell you what to do all day. But do I do it all the time? Hell no. I'll be doing dumb stuff all the time. But I took a reset on October 21st, and I just sat down and decided either I'm going to quit, I'm going to do it right, period. So since I didn't do it right from jump, and I had to reset myself 800 times, it's fine. But this is the first reset where I didn't mess up after a loss. All the other resets, you need to understand that I went 37-0, 17-0, 22-0. But every single time when I took a loss after those stretches, I messed up. And then when you see me silent, know I'm doing something messed up. Mm-hmm. Just know that's what I'm doing. And in June and July, I was like in and out, and I was hardly there. That's because I was on here doing a whole bunch of stuff. Hang on one second. Okay, so yes, absolutely no quitting. But let me tell you a little story. One day, everyone was in the chat on a Friday, and everybody was like, oh my God, this market sucks, and this is horrible. And you didn't see me in the chat. Do you know why? Because I spent a couple hours trying to do strangles. Don't ever do this, because what will happen when you try to do a strangle, then the market will stall on you in the middle.
You're going to get strangled.
You're going to get strangled. It just sits there in the middle. And then after you lose 3 or 4 or 5, then you're like, oh, hell no. You're going to give me my money. Make a deposit, make a deposit, make a deposit. And then you lose that, lose that, lose that. And it just keeps on going. The stress is ridiculous, you guys. It is so less stressful when I realized I do not have to care if I get a trade or not. I don't care. If I don't get it, I do not care. I just spend the amount of time I decide every day on the chart. If I don't get it, oh well, next day, new day. That's what I had to do, plus the accountability partner. And then now for the very first time, I took a loss and I didn't freak out. So that was the monumental thing that I went through that whole story to tell you. I should have just been like, yo, took a loss, I didn't trip. So when I get to my goal that I have set for myself, then I'll tell you, part 2, but we gonna keep that for now. But that's what I did. That's what happened. Don't drink and trade. But I needed to. I guess I needed that to happen. It's okay. And it was a stupid trade, too. I know I lost it. Oh, but let me tell you why I took it. Let me explain something very quickly, because I feel like I've seen this, not calling anybody out, I promise, but I feel like I've seen this. I feel like I've seen the Mark's Rule move hold be posted, and then whoever would just take the next trade. It don't set up or nothing. So that's kind of what my dark chocolate wine brain did last night. I was like, yeah, but it moved and hold the one before, so it's okay that there's only 4 micro pips and it backticked like 3 times and then went back up. It's all right. It's going to move and it's going to hold. So just because there's a Mark's Rule move and hold doesn't mean you can throw the parameters out the window. Like I said, do what I say, not what I do. Aw, Carl, you get so emotional. I pulled up the video as soon as we were talking about it earlier. I had to listen to it. And around the way, girl. So what y'all think about that? Don't take the trade just because there was a move and hold, Mark's Rule move and hold. You got to still apply the parameters.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't want to do it when you drink a whole bunch of wine, but you know. And I love y'all so much. And listen, I know sometimes some people, and this has happened over many, many years, this has happened, I will get on you, but in a loving way. I'll be like, okay, I see what you did there, but please don't do that. But the reason I say that is because I've literally done everything you could possibly try to do in less than a year. Yes. So how Mark was saying, like, he did everything over 22 years, I did all that shit in less than a year.
Right.
So believe me when I'm saying, I was stressed out like crazy. And there's no stress now. There's no stress. I didn't stress when I took the loss. I'm like, okay, we'll come back. No problem. I got it. No problem. But that's the first time that's happened, that I did not freak out. Even when I first started and I would take a loss, and that dude that used to be here would be like 24-hour bench, and I would still cry about the loss. I'd still cry about it, like literally. Like, oh, I lost. What am I going to do? But now, last night I didn't even cry, nothing. I'm like, okay, I got this. So, Carl, you should watch 49 and 129.
For real.
Why does Jake Carly have so many videos? Because that girl crazy.
And had the nerve to be drinking some chocolate wine. I was like, why do you keep telling me about this chocolate wine?
Because it was delicious. Because it was amazing. I didn't mean to drink, almost the whole bottle. It was an accident.
Oh, my gosh.
But no, I love y'all. Y'all know how Team Alliance I am. If you don't, then I don't know what you're doing.
For real.
But
You
if
must be
I,
under a
yeah,
rock.
but if I, right, but if I tell you something or if I try to help you, believe me, it's because I know what some of y'all are doing, and please don't make me feel like I'm the only person doing crazy stuff, because I know I'm not. I know I'm not the only person. I'm just the person who is the most open and honest about this, and this is the way I am in life. And when Mo said about swimming, it makes sense to me. I learned how to swim because my brother dropped me off a dock in New York. In upstate New York, he dropped me off a dock in water that was so deep, and I was 4 years old, and my mother just dropped me in the water. And that's how I learned to swim. And he only dropped me because my dad said, "Put her down," and then he just let me go in the water. but but that makes
just
so
so
much
happened
more.
to be in the water.
Right. So we were on the dock, and he was holding me over the water, like teasing me. And my older brother, he's mean, so he was holding me over the water, and everyone, all the adults were out, and they were like getting scared. They're like, "Put her down!" So he just opened his hands and dropped me because he got scared. Everybody was yelling at him, so he just dropped me, and that's how I learned to swim. And I fully am now going to blame my brother for this is the way I have to learn everything, the very hard way. I'm going to tell him this too. It's his fault.
That is something else.
But it makes so much sense, because everything in my life that I've tried to do or that I've gone through is the hardest way. I can't just get in the car and go from Central to Main Street. I got to go Broadway, 2nd Street, go around the loop, down the highway. I got to go 5 blocks to go next door. That's how I've been my entire life with everything, even the things that are out of my control. It is what it is. So the market.
That's just how you build. Your DNA is like that. So the fact that you know it, that self-awareness is what empowers you, because now you know what to do with it.
Right.
And that's the difference.
But I didn't know this. I did not know this until the market taught me.
Exactly. And you definitely didn't know to what degree.
Absolutely not. I didn't know that you could have a whole, like, monster, like, take over your body and just turn you into a whole nother person, and then 2 hours later all your money's gone and you have no idea what happened. I don't even know how my account went from $800 to $300. I have no idea. No idea. But that happened. I don't even know the span of time. I know on August the 19th I had $800 in my account, and then all of a sudden I didn't. So I don't know what happened. I know I had to take out a little deposit or a little withdrawal, but it wasn't no $800, I'll tell you that.
Right.
But this loss just taught me that all of this trouble and all of this stress and all of these training videos that I'm just speaking on, that I finally learned this about myself enough to know what I had to do. Accountability partner. Be accountable every day. Not just to myself, but to another person. Don't freak out if you took a loss because you took a trade you shouldn't have taken in the first place, which is fine too, because that's going to happen because we be greedy sometimes. We get a little thirsty sometimes, and it's okay. Sometimes you get away with it, sometimes you won't. I just didn't get away with it, and it's cool. It's just what the reaction. So you have E plus R equals O. The event plus your reaction equals the outcome. So that's what I got. And now it's just all, what's the good one? Downhill from here? It's all downhill from here.
It's all smooth sailing.
Yes.
There we go.
Smooth sailing. Swimming with floaties on.
Arms and wrists.
Oh, man.
Very good.
Okay, that's it. Gotta go unmute. Or maybe, no. I'm kidding. I hope that my honesty helps y'all for real. It's hard for me sometimes, but at the same time, this is my personality in my real life, not just my trading Team Alliance life. This is how I am about a lot of things. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you should definitely know that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my story, and hopefully it will help you. And if you need that too, find yourself a person you trust and have an accountability partner. Make you a little tag team, get you a little teammate, and work it out. I promise it helps when you have to tell someone else what you did.
Yes. Yep.
And it helped me. It helped me to tell Mark every time I messed up, and he would bring me back like a fishing, like when you reel the fish in, reel it back, come on back, and then I'd jump out the boat again, and then he'd reel me back in, I'd jump out the boat. If I want to go back in the water, he'd reel me back. But this everyday screenshot thing is, oh my God, it's gold. And then if I do something dumb, I have to say, okay, here's what I did, here's the recording of my dumbness, and here's how I handled it. Right. So it's not about being perfect. It's about being accountable.
Mm.
Bum, bum, bum.
Heavy.
Okay. So for real, that's all I have, and hopefully it helps you. And I love you all, and I'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Jay.
You're welcome.
What did you say again? E plus R equals O? Is that what it was? Event plus reaction equals outcome? Okay. Put that in the title for tonight. Very good stuff. Very good. All right, so what time we at? 10:06. Did anyone else have anything else to add to that? I wouldn't want to come behind that, but in case you did, feel free. But did anyone have any questions, concerns, anything that they wanted to address or ask before we get off for tonight? And you don't have to unmute if you don't want to. You can just put it in the chat box. There we go. We're going to make it. Campbell said, I got something. Unmute. Let me unmute you real quick. Hold on. What's up, Campbell?
Hello?
What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Come on, man. Drop the 2 cents real quick.
Oh, man. 2 cents. I got like a couple things.
Yeah, go ahead. Do your thing.
First off, you know what I'm saying? I'm Campbell. This is my first time on here. You know what I'm saying? GBP, Team Pound Dollar. You know what I mean? We in the building. Nah, but on a more serious note, I just got 2 things to add. I've been like struggling with this trading thing for a long time. It's been up and down. So I just want to highlight like Jay Carly, because I think you kind of like, I'm not sure, like correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're kind of like new to trading in general. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to let you know if that is the case, like you're well ahead of the game. You know what I'm saying? I know it's like, you know, ups and downs with this, but like you're well ahead of the game. Like, you know, you listen to a lot of the videos, and you see that this experienced people coming here using this strategy to finally be successful. So the fact that you're like here where people are being successful is well ahead of the game, you know, without having to go through all the trials and tribulations, jumping from system to system and, you know, spending thousands of dollars on this class and that mentor, you know what I'm saying? Like, so these small losses, these small lessons, you know what I'm saying, you still ahead of the game, way ahead of the game. So just keep on doing what you're doing, and we're gonna make it. That's really what I wanted to say. You know what I'm saying, to Jay Carly, and just to the rest of the team, I wanted to just drop a little nugget that's been helping me, because I think we all got them like itchy trigger fingers when it comes to this. Like we supposed to be doing the play-by-play, But next thing you know, we pulling up the ticket, and we're about to hit the button and get into this trade. So what's been helping me is to almost have like a little safety between my live account. And even though I'm trading live right now, I still keep the demo like very handy. So whenever I go to the chart to do the play-by-play or whatever, I'm doing it on a demo account until I get Mark's rule. That's the only time I'm logging into my live account is when I get Mark's rule on the demo account. You know what I'm saying? And then if I see like the market behavior starting to change up, I click out of my live account, I'm back on the demo account. So if I ever get any kind of like itchy trigger fingers or make any kind of mistakes or just want to jump in the trade just because for whatever reason, it's on the demo account and it's not really on my live account. So that's been helping me. And I don't know, maybe somebody else might want to implement that to help them out. But hopefully, hopefully that could be something that'll help somebody.
Excellent stuff, man. There we go. There it is.
We gonna make it.
We gonna make it. Yeah, thanks for coming on, Campbell. I appreciate it, man.
No doubt. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everything that's going on, and just gonna try to keep on doing my little piece, and we gonna make it, man.
That's it. We gonna get to where we going, man. For sure. Also, feel free if you ever want to come on and speak on, whatever's going on at the time. You guys are always welcome to do so. And I appreciate, when you guys engage like this because it's good to hear from students, especially for some of the newer students, so that you can kind of just see, what is actually going on as far as the results of the training and how everything is affecting everyone on the team. You know what I mean? So very important. Very important, and I appreciate you guys, definitely. So thanks again, Jay Carley. Thanks again, Campbell. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Did anyone else have anything that they wanted to add on? I'm pretty sure that this will be one of the most viewed trainings. Definitely. Thank you, Jay. Thank you. Yeah, my mission is to make you guys the MVPs for real. Then I'll really be the MVP. Y'all just be winning and killing this Nadex, man. They're gonna be like, well, damn. Y'all all winning like that? Yeah. Okay. Well, Team Alliance, I guess. That's what I want people to say. Team Alliance. Oh, you're one of those Team Alliance. Yes. Yep, that's me. Yes, good stuff, everyone. Good stuff. So once again, those of you who are new, videos number 92 and number 55 are the two videos that I want you to begin with. And start off there, you'll become more familiar with the actual parameters that we use. The video after that you can watch is number 175. That video will further explain the behavior that we look for as far as the way that the market actually moves, the way that we want to see it move. And got a number of other videos after that you can watch also. Just stay connected in the group chat. We'll let you know what to actually watch next. So depending on where you are and what you're understanding so far, will kind of help us to lead you to where you need to be as far as the training videos go, so that we'll kind of put you on to what you need to know or what you need to watch, I should say, next. Dan said walk. What's that? I'm not sure what that means. But yeah, so tonight's training will be available within the next 40 minutes or so. I think tonight's training is 224, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, a walkthrough. Okay. Um, what? There's a trainer video that had 2 examples off the top. There was 2 actual trades that were taken. I think I'm gonna let you watch that one. It's 224. Okay. Dan, watch video number 224 specifically. 224 had some actual trades, or at least an actual trade. I'm not sure how many are on there, but I know that there was one on there for sure that I took. It might have been at the very beginning of the training, if that's the one that I'm thinking of. Wait, did we say 224? No, 224 is tonight's. I'm sorry, no, that's wrong, Dan. I apologize. 224 is tonight's video. Hold on, let me look through this list for a second to get you the video. Just bear with me. Jay says she's gonna find it. I'm gonna find it first. I'm gonna find it. Let me see which one it was. It had 2 examples. Two examples. Where is it? Where is it? 164. Number 164, Dan. That's the one. Jay Carly said 86, 96. Were you guessing? So, okay. In that order, then watch 164, watch 96, and watch 86. Yeah, you're right. There is one called Student Walkthroughs. Yep, you are right about that. Okay, so then those will definitely help you. They'll give you exact examples of trades that we actually took while on training. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. There is a lot. But it's a good thing because you're going to get what you're looking for. You are definitely going to find it. Yes, exactly, in that order. All right, so aside from that, yes, and tonight's is 224. That is correct. Video will be available within about 40 minutes. And we'll pick this up back in the group chat. Make sure that you stay connected in the group chat. If you have any questions, throw your questions in there. Your question will get answered. And we'll see you on training tomorrow night, same time, same place. All right, so I'll see you guys later on. Everybody have a great evening. Stay safe in the market. Love, peace, and soul. Deuces. Yeah, have a good night. I'll see y'all in a minute in the group chat.